So Terry, I'd love for you to say hi to everybody, but then I would also love for you to take us back to prior to the 6-week intensive and tell us what was going on for you that prompted you to want to sign up and join the Sabotage to Success.
Okay, hi, happy to be here. Before I started the program, I was binging almost every day. I've been doing that for, about 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having lots of thoughts. I was feeling like I was afraid to give up binge eating. It felt, comfortable, and I felt like I would miss the binge foods and really didn't want to give it up. So I was feeling a lot of regret about that. And I was aware of having feelings that my binging, it felt like an automatic habit. A lot of times I wasn't even really aware of having a thought about binging. I would just find myself in the kitchen staring at the pantry, looking for something to eat. And then I would have lots of thoughts about, I would make a plan for the day, and I would eat breakfast, and maybe I'd eat lunch, and then, I would eat something that wasn't on my plan. And then I would start thinking, well, okay, I've already blown it today. I might as well just forget this and binge for the rest of the day and start over tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And so, that was happening a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knew I had thoughts that I needed to get better control over, and I thought the class would help with that. So
yeah. And I remember that was one of the first things you raised your hand about, was this idea of, I know that these thoughts are repetitive. I know that they're habitual, but I'm kind of afraid I'm going to miss this experience of binging, right? The comfort that it brings you. And so in the 6-week intensive, how did that start to change for you with your thoughts and kind of starting to see them a little bit differently?
Well, I think it really started when I talked to you about binging and the sorrow that I felt about giving it up. And you basically told me I don't have to give it up. You laid out a plan that I would eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner and treats every day, and then if I wanted to have a binge at that point, then I could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so that, just having the thought that I could do that if I wanted to really helped a lot. And really, as a result, over the last, it's been 5 weeks now that I've been doing this, and I've had very few binges.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up, because, and this is something that's really hard for people to realize, but all your lower brain is ever going to offer you for a solution to this problem is what it's always offered you. So that repetitive thought you had, right, of, I got to completely give it up. I got to completely give it up. That thought in of itself is partly what was keeping you trapped, right? Because as long as you believed that thought, and you knew what comfort you drew from that, you're never going to try something different. You're just going to keep doing what you're doing. But when I said, no, we can totally keep binging, but we're just going to hit these 3 square meals a day and build in what we would call healthy human guidelines, right? Like healthy human behaviors. And we're going to do this. Now, you've got to have heard me talk about stuff like that before on the show. How come it resonated with you differently in the intensive versus maybe hearing me tell somebody else to do that?